Roguelite. What does that word mean to you? To me, it means a game where each run is a new experience. It means challenging gameplay and tough decisions. It means getting lucky and becoming more powerful than Goku. There's little reason why the genre has become insanely popular since the original Binding of Isaac came out in 2011 and introduced itself to many who didn't even know the genre existed. These games are often mistakenly called roguelike, but while close is technically incorrect. The term has been thrown around a lot over the past few years, but on the wrong games. Games like Dungeons of Dreadmore, Tales of Maj'Eyal, and Sword of the Stars: The Pit are all great examples of what a roguelike game really is. Roguelite, however, is a genre that derives from the interesting mechanics of roguelikes, but at the same time are far enough away to be considered what many call a roguelike-like, or roguelite. The big divider between the genres tends to be the way combat plays out. In a traditional roguelike game, you could think about the situation in front of you and take your time to make tactical decisions while moving around on an easy-to-read grid. Roguelites, on the other hand, tend to throw out the tactical aspect entirely and replace it with a more action-oriented combat that tests and trains your physical skill as much as your split-second, moment-to-moment decision-making skills. So without further ado, here is my list of my top 5 roguelite games. Number 5. FTL, Faster Than Light, is one of the more unique games in this genre. While the rest of the games on this particular list are more action-oriented, FTL is more of a real-time strategy game with a pause mechanic to assist in decision-making and precision timing during combat. As you travel through the universe, you're faced with events that force you to make various decisions, most of which have a possibility to go horribly, horribly wrong. I'm talking incurable space disease bad, or your captain involuntarily ascending to a higher state of consciousness bad here. While many roguelite games tend to put you at the mercy of the random number generator, FTL puts your whole life in its hands. Oftentimes you will find yourself completely helpless in later sectors if you weren't lucky enough to get enough resources to upgrade your ship or the right weapons to kill your enemies quickly. The RNG will even have moments where it'll completely screw you over by making sure your 40% dodge rate or 90% chance to hit will never have a favorable outcome. I like this game a lot, but ultimately with your life being controlled solely by RNG with practically no chance for your own skill to make up the difference keeps this game at the bottom of my list. Number 4. Rogue Legacy almost doesn't fit on this list for me. Rather than the permadeath and procedural generation being an obstacle to your victory, it's actually just another step on your journey to finally beating the game. And that's what makes this game stand out among its peers. You're working to beat the game, not just a single run. You have to die to be able to spend all the money you've collected, which will permanently increase the power and effectiveness of your characters. That's right, I said characters. One of the more interesting aspects of Rogue Legacy is that you play as a massive lineage of flawed heroes, cursed to travel through the same castle. Throughout the generations, your character will become stronger, making it easier to traverse, and eventually conquer the castle. While skill plays an important role in Rogue Legacy, it's much less important than your tenacity and how powerful your character has become. That puts this game much closer to the realm of an RPG than a roguelite, but it still contains the excitement and the tension that comes with being so close to death on an excellent run. Number 3. Lagaan Tey is the only game on my list that isn't actually officially released at the time of this video. While there currently isn't a ton to unlock compared to some of the other games on this list, its gameplay is more than enough to really keep me intrigued throughout a run and excited for the game's future. While most games in this genre opt for simple secondary resource systems like Rogue Legacy's mana or FTL's ammo, this game complicates things by introducing skill points and skill trees and stats and a full array of equipment with various different weapons. It's like a fully fledged RPG system in the confines of a roguelite game, but manages to keep all of that simple enough so that you don't get tired of managing it in each run. Lagaan Tey's mechanics strike that delicate balance between simple and complex that just creates a whole lot of fun. Combine that with a combat system that forces you to think and approach fights and situations with a keen eye and a sharp mind, and you've got an early access game with a whole lot of potential. Number 2. Oh boy, Risk of Rain. This game is just so incredibly fun to play. I mean, hell, whenever I was recording footage for this, I spent like 3 hours just playing over and over and over again because, it's just so fun. It takes everything that I love from the roguelite genre and turns it on its side into a platforming shoot-'em-up. Its main difficulty scaling mechanic is designed so that you're forced to make split-second decisions on which direction to go, or which chest to loot, or whether or not to go back to the other side of the level to get that chest you missed, because the longer you stay on any given level, the harder the whole game gets. It's tuned tightly enough with just enough luck that you can't help but play just one more run. 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 Sorry. And let's not forget about the items. The items are what really puts this game so high on my list. Items in this game can range from simple damage increases to making your enemy violently explode into fire and spirit bolts that track down its former allies. And the best part is, most of them stack on themselves and each other to create ludicrously powerful and fun effects that add to the chaos on the screen. It's as much fun mechanically as it is visually, which is why it's earned such a high spot on my list. Number 1. For me, and many others, I'm sure, The Binding of Isaac is where my love for this genre began. I'm struggling to really put my love for this game into words as I write, but the gameplay is simple and well-crafted. A challenging experience that keeps you saying one more run until you realize it's 3 a.m. and you have to be up early for an important meeting or a test. There are so many imaginative items and an exponential amount of wild and devastating combinations that makes each run truly unique. It combines elements of strategy and luck and skill and exploration that all work in concert to create such a unique experience that hasn't quite been matched by anything but later iterations of itself. Games such as A Wizard's Lizard and Our Darker Purpose, for instance, borrow heavily from The Binding of Isaac's formula but fall short of its greatness. Why is that? Maybe it's the Zelda-inspired interface that tugs on my nostalgia strings. Maybe it's the grotesque imagery and dark themes. Maybe it's because I can transform into a flying undead cat that barfs blood and shits blue flies to take down Mega Satan. Who knows? All I know is that I love and have loved every iteration of this game, and I am counting the days until The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth releases on October 30th. Well, that's my list. Is one of your favorite roguelites missing from this list? Let me know about it in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and then check out one of my other videos such as, I don't know, this conveniently placed link to my first impression video of number 3 on my list, Lagaan Tey? And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.